Yo, what's up? It's Truth Chronicles here, coming through with a new video, of course, with a perspective on truth. Now, the Canelo versus Triple G fight. Let me start by saying, extremely exciting and competitive fight. I enjoyed it. A lot of people are disappointed. I'm going to get into that in the video here, what I think happened. But overall, very competitive fight. I will say that Triple G surprised me. And let me start off by saying why. So Triple G, I didn't think his defense would be there. I predicted this fight to be a TKO for Canelo in the 7th round. I thought the first 2 or 3 rounds, Triple G would come out strong. Canelo would feel him out, kind of like he did with Amir Khan, then try to time him with check hooks and things like that. But it didn't work that way. It seemed like Triple G's, he was avoiding those check hooks. He was avoiding the counter punches pretty well for the most part. So that surprised me. Props to him for that. But let me get into what I think happened in this fight. Now, I want to start by saying, guys, most of you, to quote Floyd Mayweather, right? You guys don't know shit about boxing, with all due respect. And let me explain why. Canelo, to me, won the fight. He won. Okay, I have on my cards a possibility of a draw because I'll be honest, a couple rounds were very difficult for me to decide on what happened because there wasn't much action. The rounds I'm pointing out are rounds 1 and round 6. Now, if you know boxing, you know what I'm talking about. You probably have the same rounds. Like, you're like, fuck, I don't know. Round 1 and 6. Was that a Triple G round or was it a Canelo round? Those 2 rounds, it's hard to say who won, but you can't do draws for rounds or else it fucks up your cards, right? You got to pick somebody. So I gave round 1 to Canelo, and I gave round 6 ultimately to Triple G, which didn't change my cards because I had Canelo winning rounds 1 through 4, Triple G winning rounds 5 through 9, and then Canelo winning rounds 10, 11, and 12. Now, let me be honest with you guys. If you see it any other way, you honestly do not understand boxing. I do not give rounds to Triple G for stealing the rounds with a jab that is really not crisp, but more feeling him out. And that is the only reason why he had more CompuBox landed was that baby jab. Now, not all of them were baby jabs. Some of Triple G's jabs were crisp, but most of them were just measuring jabs, feeling out. He wasn't really doing anything but trying to set up a large right or just a feeling out of distance. And I cannot give guys rounds for just chasing, having problems cutting off the ring, and using his jab as he's chasing. That's not going to give you a round. And I'm also not going to give guys, I'm not going to take a round away from Canelo for moving around the ring and picking and choosing when he wants to be active. Especially when Canelo chose to be active, he was very effective. It wasn't like when he chose to meet him in the middle of the ring, he didn't do shit. He actually was the dominant fighter whenever he chose to do what he wanted to do. So let me break down the fight from kind of the beginning, middle, and end. Beginning of the fight, very obvious. Canelo was very comfortable. He realized, and I think he predicted in his mind, that Triple G didn't have the power that it was kind of touted to have. And I think he realized that this guy's a really hard puncher, but he isn't as hard as people say. And I think Canelo realized very quickly that he's slow. He really doesn't have the speed to tag Canelo. It's not going to happen. Not the way that Triple G usually tags guys. Yes, he can hit Canelo. Yes, he can land a few combinations on Canelo. But can he lay him out? No, it's not going to happen. And I'll skip to this, guys. In the second fight, Triple G is going to get his ass whooped. Because if you know anything about boxing and rematches between styles of fights, brawlers always get their ass whooped by boxers in the second fight because the younger, smarter, faster boxer has more confidence. He understands all this guy's going to try to do is pressure me and knock me out. I have to make a few adjustments and I'm going to embarrass him. And he will get embarrassed in the second fight. If you think that's crazy, you just don't know boxing, man. You haven't watched a lot of fights. You haven't watched a lot of fights with these kind of styles. And you haven't seen fights in the past history with similar fighters. It always happens the same. There's very little deviation or variation. We can guarantee one thing. Triple G is not going to knock out Canelo. You can say, we can guarantee Canelo won't knock out Triple G, which I don't believe. I think in the beginning of round 10, I believe, that shot hurt Triple G. Triple G never hurt Canelo in the entire fight. Canelo landed the majority of clean shots, and that's getting into like the beginning of the fight, going back to that. Clean shots, crisp shots, power shots were being landed by Canelo at a higher percentage. which if you watch the copy box numbers, which I don't like looking at that stuff. I like to just use my eyes and turn off the audio when I watch a fight, and I recommend you guys do that. Canelo was landing at a higher percentage, and if you were watching with your eyes, they were the crisper, harder punches. Okay? Middle of the fight, very obvious. Triple G took control. Now, people say, oh, he took control of the whole fight. No, 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 no. To me, taking control is moving forward, not only moving forward, but effectively cutting off the ring and landing combinations, landing crisp jabs. In the middle of the fight, his jab was looking nice. Towards the end of the fight, it was shit. I'm not going to give Triple G points for landing a shit jab. I'm not going to do that. If you watch guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather is probably the best example. The jabs that Floyd Mayweather throws, he's not known for throwing jabs. When he throws them, they have a purpose. That's the kind of jab you give someone points for because it snaps someone's head back. It hits them clean to the body, and you can tell the guy's hands drop a little bit, so they felt it. Those are jabs where I go, okay, that's on my scorecards. That's on my scorecards. The Conor McGregor little pity pat, I'm filling you out jabs, I don't give those to fighters. And a lot of judges don't either. They're judging on effective punches, not just like in the clinch punching, punching to the side in the clinch. That shit doesn't count. You know, a lot of judges will put that on the scorecards, and the copy box counts all that shit. But smart judges go, I'm not going to use that to sway around. You got to do more. You got to land combinations. You got to land power punches. You got to land effective punches to land to sway rounds. But undisputedly, 5 through 9. With the exception of 6, maybe that was a tough one, but I went ahead and gave that to Triple G because just with the momentum, it made sense. 5 through 9, hands down, Triple G. Golovkin, he did very well. I don't know if Canelo was gassed or Golovkin kind of figured out a hitch in his armor, but he was able to land a few combinations. I think round 7, Triple G landed the best combination. I think it was about a 6-punch combination that I saw him land in the entire fight. Very handily got that round. I think 8 was very easy for him as well on my scorecards to give him that. And then from that point forward, I think he got 9 as well. That was a little bit closer. Then going to the end of the fight, 10, 11, and 12 was easily Canelo. And if you don't understand that, guys, you gotta see that Canelo would come on strong. He'd pick and choose when he'd go in, and he was landing the cleaner punches. And Triple G was having trouble cutting off the ring. So for you guys who want to see a brawl, you need to understand that this is not that. Boxing is not that. And if you just want to see a couple guys in a phone booth stand there and wait to see who knocks who out, you need to go watch something else. Go watch a couple guys in a phone booth. Go watch a street fight or whatever it is, or the UFC. I don't even think the UFC is that, to be honest. Some of the best, smartest fighters like Conor McGregor, if you saw his last fight with Nate Diaz, it was a fight of momentum changes, right? And when Nate Diaz started coming on at the end of the fight, after Conor McGregor came on in the middle of the fight and was getting gassed towards the end, he straight up ran from Nate Diaz, which is smart. There's a fucking ring for a reason. And Nate Diaz, if you can't cut it off the ring and force him into a corner, which is something great fighters can do, but it's harder to do against a guy like we see on the left here, Canelo Alvarez, because he's smart. He knows how to not get cut off in the ring. That's your problem. That's part of the game. Or else they would make the ring literally 5 by 5 feet, right? They'd be like, fuck it, let's put him in a little box and let him fight. And Golovkin, as you can see from the post-fight interview, is just talking mad shit because he just wants to stand there and see who hits harder and who drops first. But that is not the sport of boxing. So for all of you guys who are out there, oh, you know, Teddy Atlas said, hey, Teddy Atlas has a history of only liking brawlers. He loves brawlers. He doesn't respect boxers as much as brawlers. So as much as he wants to act like he's a student of the science, he can't stand the guys who use the science. And that's his history. So that's why he's outraged. I think a draw is acceptable. But if I was just being 100% honest, I think Triple G got edged out by a little bit. He got edged out by just a little bit. But it doesn't matter to me because in the rematch, and you guys can hit me in the comments what you think about the rematch or what will happen. A lot of people don't want to talk about the rematch because they know what's going to happen. In their hearts of hearts, they know that this dude is older, he's going to get handled, and the younger, smarter fighter will make the adjustments. And there's really no adjustments Triple G can make, nor will he make. He has one style, and he says it himself, I got one style, I like to move forward, he don't move. You know, that's all he's got. He wants to move forward, he wants to clash. Whereas Canelo goes, yeah, I'll do that when I need to. You know, I'll do that when I need to. And you can't knock me out because I'm faster than you. And I have better head movement than you. and I'm not afraid of you. You know, I'm also not afraid of your punching power, and I know I can hurt you because after round 10, and I believe it was an early round 2 with that uppercut, even though that no, it wasn't the uppercut. The uppercut wasn't what gave Canelo confidence. There was a looping right hand that Triple G saw coming that Canelo hit him with in the middle rounds that gave Canelo obvious confidence. It gave him confidence because he was getting kind of like, oh shit, man, I'm dropping rounds here in the middle. And we hit him with that looping right hand that Triple G saw coming, so it didn't hurt him at all, but it was a big punch. Nevertheless, that gave Canelo confidence, and you saw from that point forward, he started kind of getting back into the fight because he realized I can hit this guy, and I can hit this guy hard, and he can't hit me hard. He can hit me with some nice glancing blows, but nothing shook Canelo. So his confidence is sky high. That second fight, he's going to beat this man. He's going to beat him down, in my opinion, and it will be a pot shot fight like I expected this one to be. But it didn't happen because I think it's more smarts of Canelo. I think Canelo was surprised by Triple G's defense, like I was. I don't think he thought his defense would be that clean. Triple G has good defense. For a guy who doesn't use a lot of head movement, he knows how to use his shoulder. He knows how to use a body movement and body angles to avoid big punches, and he predicts them pretty well. That's why he's a pretty decent counterpuncher. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to stand in the pocket, wait for you to throw so he can throw at the same time because he has such a good chin. He doesn't care if you hit him. He knows he can just knock you out. But Canelo is smart, and he goes, no, I hit and I move. Kind of like Mayweather. I hit and I move. I hit and I move. I'm not going to stay there and just get fucking pummeled by you. But that's what happened in the fight, guys. That's the truth of it. Beginning of the fight, obvious Canelo. Middle of the fights, round 5 through 9, obvious Triple G. And you cannot give Triple G 10, 11, or 12. If you do, you're an idiot. You're a damn idiot. And I hate to be fucking just so blunt, but you need to go watch it again and do what I did. I watched the fight twice with no sound. You guys are so influenced by fucking commentators who don't know what they're talking about sometimes. They just do not know what they're talking about. They are so thirsty for the brawl that they give the guy who's moving forward the advantage. You know, moving forward is great. Being the aggressor is great if you're the effective aggressor. I believe Teddy Atlas, I heard him use the analogy that Triple G was the ocean. He was the Atlantic Ocean, and Canelo was the log. Hey, if you're going to throw out fucking metaphors like that are so overwhelming, you better explain why the fuck the ocean couldn't knock out the log or even hurt the log. You know, because that whole running thing, for a guy like Teddy Atlas, he knows that doesn't exist because no one can run in a boxing ring. You can cut it off. Like, if you think that you're some guy on the street, you can get in the ring with Canelo or Triple G and you can just, like, backpedal and get away from him, you're a fucking idiot. They'll corner you and they'll hit you to the body and they'll drop your ass, like, in 1 second. Period. You know, so Triple G, and he hasn't mentioned this yet, but I bet he will mention it down the road. He'll say something like, I was surprised that it was so difficult to cut off the ring. And the reason it's so difficult is this kid is good. He has skills. And what I was surprised to see with Canelo and excited to see with Canelo, I was happy to see him actually be in a fight where he was up against somebody who was at his level. So we could see that he actually has a defensive arsenal that is pretty impressive. You know, it's not on Floyd Mayweather's level, but it's gotten better. And I saw a little bit of that against Cotto, and you saw a lot of it against Triple G here. And it's very impressive. I was very impressed by that with Canelo. I was very impressed with Triple G's he did have ring generalship. I was impressed with that. It wasn't as good as it needed to be, but I was really impressed with his defense. And he always impressed with a guy who keeps moving forward. I'm not even saying that didn't impress me, but I don't let that overwhelm me. Like, oh, he moved forward. I give him the fight because he moved forward. But it's always impressive to see a guy hungry going for it. But I understand there's more to the boxing game than just moving forward. You know, and anybody who's watched a tactician like Floyd Mayweather, hey, he's not always moving forward. Sometimes he's on his heels and he's whooping guys' asses on his heels. He's outboxing them on his heels. And Canelo did that. He did a lot of outboxing on his heels. Other rounds he didn't. That's why he dropped 5 rounds on my book. You know, there's 5 rounds where he didn't. He was on his heels getting beat. It's not like Triple G wasn't doing that, but he wasn't doing that to the point where I think he won the fight. A draw, let's call it fair. I'll call it a draw fair. But these people saying that Triple G got robbed, you guys, honestly, you don't know what you're talking about. And if you want to dispute me in the comments, you know what, guys? Come at me with some knowledge. Come at me with something other than just he got his ass whooped. Because Canelo's face, nor the video or the replay or anything of the fight showed that he got his ass whooped. Okay, and contrary to that, if we're talking about who got hit harder with cleaner punches and more, it was Triple G got hit harder with cleaner power punches, right? Triple G landed a few more shitty jabs, and that's why people go, oh, he hit him more. No, he did not hit him more, not with good punches. He hit him more with the jab. You know, he wasn't jabbing to the body. He wasn't using the jab crisp and hard and snapping his head back, other than a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 that were really good crisp jabs. He was just throwing that out there. So that's like people who just refer right to the stats. I call them like stat boys. You know, you see a lot of that in basketball. Like, oh, no, LeBron's better than Michael Jordan because of this stat. It's like, dude, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Learn to look at something and study the subtle nuances of the game, of the sport, of whatever sport it is. Because that's what sports are. There's more to it than just going, oh, it's 40%, 41%. Oh, 41%, he's better. You know, that's not how it works. So wake up, guys. If you're going to argue with me in the comments, you know, do so respectfully and understand, like, hey, you know, maybe I don't know this sport and I need to go look at and analyze what this guy's saying, because if I watch it again and with no sound, he is right. Canelo is hitting him with more crisper punches, and even though he is backing up, he is picking and choosing when he's going in. He met Triple G in the ring plenty of times in the middle of the ring. Triple G had every opportunity to knock him out, just like he's knocked a lot of guys out, and couldn't. At the end of the day, that's the fact. And someone should say that to Triple G to his face. One of these reporters need to say, well, hey, you met him in the middle of the ring. He laid on the ropes right in front of you and begged you to come forward, and you couldn't hit him. What happened? You know, I mean, what happened there? He ran. No, he didn't. No. I'm talking about when he was just laying there on the ropes. He wasn't running. What happened? What happened when he met you in the middle of the ring and was backing you up? What happened? You know? So those are the things that you got to look at, guys. And that's it. Signing out. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right?